7-inch monitor, bright, compact, lightweight, and with the camera control. At least with the Sony FX30, it works really great. Let's review that. What's good, guys? My name is Oleg Nikitin and you're watching No Limits On channel. So today we're having a look at the 7-inch 1000 nits 1080p display or on-camera monitor, Portkeys LH7P with camera control. So let's have a look at the monitor first. It's made out of plastic mostly, but really durable plastic, and it weighs only 250 grams. For a 7-inch monitor, it's really not a lot. So here we have the NP-ref battery slot. You can also power this monitor with the DC in 7 to 24 volts. We have an HDMI in, the headphone jack, USB Type-A for updating the firmware and for uploading the LUTs, the 1/4-inch thread right here, and the HDMI out for loopback signal. On the other side, we have one more 1/4-inch thread, and on the other side, one more 1/4-inch thread, so basically 3 ways of mounting this monitor. And on the upper part, we have 4 customizable buttons, 1, 2, 3, and 4. You can assign basically any function to be used with these buttons. And here we have the touchscreen on-off button, if you do need for some reason this function. And also here we have the push-release mechanism for the NP-ref batteries and the switch to turn it on or off. And I do prefer the switches rather than buttons. So here we have my 5-inch monitor from Shimbol. And as you can see, the port case is really slim. It's not super much, a lot bigger than the 5-inch display, 5.5-inch display of the Shimbol, and you can tell also that the bezels on the 7-inch port keys are really slim compared to those pretty fat bezels on the Shimbol and most of the 5.5-inch monitors. So what else do you get in the kit with the port keys? So it comes in this box and this carrying case, like Pelican style case. So inside of this case we have a few things, basically some foam. Also we get 2 screen protectors. Here's one, where it is, top-down camera, yeah. So we have 2 screen protectors, one is here, one is here, and if you screw the first layer of protection, you have another one. So here we have the mount for the monitor. It's a pretty sturdy mount, and we have an Allen key to fix it, to tighten it, but it doesn't rotate, it only makes the tilt adjustments. You also get this USB Type-A flash drive for updating the firmware and for the LUTs. Also some paperwork, the HDMI to HDMI cable, the big one, and also the cleaning cloth right here. So you can use this carrying case, this protective case, let me say. It's pretty big, but I also do have a suggestion to buy a pretty cheap on AliExpress or Amazon soft case with silicone for iPad mini, and as you can see, it fits perfectly fine and it gets really thin and portable in this carrying case, and you won't damage your screen with this one. Just a regular tip for you guys. And also Portkeys did send me the sun hood, let me say. Now let's have a look at the sun hood. So basically the sun hood is really fast to attach and detach. We have those brackets for the monitor, like so. You attach the brackets on one side, then you attach a bracket on the other side, like so, and here we have the cover itself. So we simply slide it into the special holders, so you get a little snap. And here you go, guys, you have your sun hood monitor like so, and it's a pretty deep sun hood, and it's still a 1000 nit monitor, which is great for outdoors, and it's more than enough, at least to me. The 1000 nits is a sweet spot in terms of battery life and in terms of the brightness of the screen itself. But with this sun hood and sunshade, basically, you can film in outdoor conditions in very bright sunny day, no issues whatsoever, and you can also detach it really fastly and conveniently, as you can see. You can detach it on the one side, on the other side. Not super fancy, but it does work, so here you go. And right now, guys, we're having a look at the camera control possibilities of the Portkeys monitor. So first, I have connected it to the Sony FX30. Here is a list of Sony cameras that are supported and the list of features that are supported. If you want to know about different cameras, you need to go to the Portkeys website to find the particular camera model and the functionality of it with this monitor. So I have connected it via Wi-Fi. So it was a pretty complicated process, and I'll leave a link to a tutorial video down below. If you buy this monitor, you can find this video tutorial in the description below. So here you can see the camera status. So this is the Sony FX30. You can see the charge the battery juice left in the battery of the Sony FX30, also the battery life of the monitor, the HDMI feed, and the LUT, is it turned on or off. So here you can see the memory status. So I have 1 hour and 40 minutes on both memory cards in the FX30. You can change your parameters like automatic modes or aperture priority, shutter priority, video mode, photo mode, etc. Here is the EV value if you film in auto ISO, for instance. So here is the white balance in kelvins, so we can change the white balance, and as you can see on the camera we have also changed it, but you cannot dial in the green magenta values, so keep that in mind. Here we have the white balance possibilities, so we can set the, I don't know, sun or clouds or shade or something else, or auto white balance, but I do prefer setting the white balance with kelvins. So let's go back to, okay, let me do it in camera. Sometimes it's simply faster. So here it is. So here we have the record button, so you can start and stop recording with this monitor, and you can do it even wirelessly. So you can connect a video transmission system, the wireless video transmission system like I show you in this example, and you can have a completely separate device, the monitor plus the receiver, and on camera you'll have a wireless transmitter, and you'll be able to control your camera from a very good distance, like 10 meters away. You'll be able to adjust the shutter speed, the ISO, the white balance, start and stop recording, which is great for studio environments. I didn't think that it would be working, but it is working, which is nice. So let's start the recording. Also here you can see the autofocus button. So if I'm focused somewhere there, let me focus manually somewhere there, like so. I'm completely out of focus. I can tap this button and it'll refocus, which is nice. So here we have the iris control, so the aperture. As you can see, we closed down the aperture up to f20. So let's get back to f2.8. Here it is. Also the shutter speed, of course, so we can change it to any amount basically. Let's get back to 1/50. And you can do it like here in 10 increments, pretty small increments. Also the ISO value, you can go up to 3200 or 20,000, whatever. So it is like here. Then the focus mode, but we'll get back to it in a second. So here we have the clear image zoom. So you can see that it is working with clear image zoom, and we can dial in the speed. You can make it a fast zoom in or a slow zoom in, whatever you prefer. And here we have the focus tab, so you can dial in the manual focus or the autofocus. With the manual focus, you can also dial in the settings like so. Fast movement, slow movement, etc. It's not super convenient to use, to be honest. And here we have the focus in areas mode and also the touch tracking. So it's touch to focus or track to focus. So let's try track to focus. Let's turn it off. Track to focus to my camera. Here it is. And now we get back to the lens. Here it is. And it simply does work. As you can see on the camera, the tracking does work. We can tap once again and it'll track the other object, which is great. So you can track and touch to focus with this monitor, which I was missing in a lot of different monitors that I've used with the touch control. So if you need to go into the menu system, you need to go to off mode of the focus menu, and then you can tap anywhere to dial in different settings of the monitor itself. But in this focus mode, if you are tracking some subjects like this one, for example, you can use the function buttons on the body of the monitor itself. As you can see, they are working. So here we have the zebras, false color, etc, etc. So they do work even if you do some touch tracking focus like you see here. The only thing is that you cannot see the box, which is right here. You cannot see it on the monitor itself. It is a bit of a limitation, but still the functionality of this monitor in terms of camera control, at least with the Sony FX30, is great. And guys, let's have a look at the user interface of this monitor. So if you tap once, you get the menu system. So here you have the 3D LUTs. You can store the 3D LUT on the flash drive, USB Type A. You can import your own one. You can toggle it on and off. Then we have the vertical extension mode if you want to make the legs of the model in shots a bit longer and more sexy, you can use this setting, but I do not suggest doing this. It's you know, Chinese style. I don't know, they do love it, I don't love it. So here we have the camera control. Here is what you get when you try to connect the camera to the monitor and so on. So you simply set it once and it works all the time automatically after it. So here we have the function buttons 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as you can see, we can toggle it right here, or we can use the physical buttons, the brightness of the monitor, and when you get to the lower brightness it gets pretty quiet, but when you get to the highest brightness like 10, the fan gets louder and it will make pretty loud noise if you want to film with the shotgun microphone right beside it. So I do suggest using something like 7 indoors so you don't get a lot of fan noise. This is one of the drawbacks of this monitor. But other than that, guys, there is not really a lot of drawbacks and troubles with this monitor. So let's move on. Here we have the function buttons. So here you can reassign every function button, which is right here. So we have the peaking, the zebras, the false color, HLG mode, vertical extension mode, etc, etc. So you can reassign it right here. In terms of the functions, we have all the functions you can imagine. So here we have the peaking function, and if you toggle it on, you can see it turned on. We can go into the original mode, we can go into the grayscale mode, black and white mode, etc. So we have a ton of customization, different color, marks, frames, etc. So you can customize each and every setting, even the false color settings. So here is the ARRI style, but you can make it a user style and dial in your own settings, which is great. Let's get back to the ARRI style. So here we have the Luma waveform, and if we toggle it on, we can also customize it. We can change the opacity, the brightness, the warning color, which will highlight the overexposed parts. And also you can extend it and you can make it smaller, and you can reposition it into 4 different corners like you see right here. So let's turn it off. What else do we have in here? RGB parade, audio meters, so you can toggle the audio meters on and off. And here we have a different set of menus, swiping to the right. And here we have the histogram, the image capture, the image overlay, if you want to film a time lapse at day and then at night, and you come back at night and you simply set those 2 images side by side. They're semi-transparent and you can make it a time lapse going from day into the night and etc. And we have a ton of different functions and customizability. So we have like grids with tons of customization and so on. So basically you have each and every function that you need in this monitor. So let's move on to the settings tab. So to the picture, so you can adjust the image on the monitor itself in terms of brightness, contrast, chroma levels, sharpness, and tint. Let me dial in. I don't know, maybe I want to make this image look a bit more magenta or a bit more green or whatever. So I've set it to 40. I like it the most. So here we have the display flip mode. We can flip into different horizontal, vertical modes, etc. It's really easy to monitor yourself when you have those flip modes. And the flip mode is the Busta Rhymes label, as far as I remember, which is great. So here we have the system settings. Here you can set the gesture zoom in, for instance, with the pinch to zoom, as you can see right here. And then we have, if we swipe to the left, we have the OSD animation, the sound, the volume of the headphones themselves, the firmware, and also right here in the picture, we also have the anamorphic mode. For some reason it's hidden in here, but we do have a ton of different anamorphic modes. And also here you can set the color temperature. You can use different color temperatures of the monitor itself, or you can even dial in it manually, which is really nice with red, green, and blue settings. So basically each and every function that you need from a good monitor is in here, and I give it a thumbs up. In terms of battery life, this monitor draws about 9 watts of power, which is nice, not really a lot for a 7-inch 1000 nits of brightness monitor. In terms of pricing, it's $350, and in my opinion, for this good of a kit with all the cables you need, with a carrying case, this big of a monitor, really great image quality by the way, and customizability of the image itself, in terms of white balance, contrast, etc. A ton of features, and the camera control, it's not a lot. $350 is really justified, at least in my opinion. So all in all, guys, I'm really satisfied with this product by Portkeys. Actually, it's the first Portkeys monitor that really got me thinking that it's almost a perfect product. We have only not really fancy UI interface, and also not all the camera control features are available, at least for the Sony FX30. At least some features you need to dial in some settings with the camera itself. I like the frame rate, for instance. So please guys, let me know down in the comment section below, do you use a 7-inch monitor or a 5-inch monitor? Do you have the camera control features on your monitor? So all of your thoughts down into the comment section below. If you did enjoy this video, please smash the like and subscribe buttons and hit the notifications bell. And here I have a huge playlist of reviews of different monitors for you to watch next. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care, bye.